Welcome back
Hello
to the
everyone,
latest
and
video
welcome
on the
back to
USA
another video
Celebrity
on
Legacy
the USA
channel.
Legacy Spotlight
In the
channel.
past
Over the
24
past
hours,
24 hours,
we've
received
sad
the
news
heartbreaking
about the
news
passing of
of
some
several extraordinary talents passing
In
away.
today's episode,
In today's episode, we dedicate this time to honor their memories and celebrate the legacies they leave behind. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please give it a like as a sign of respect. Thank you. Uriah Rennie. Uriah Rennie was a pioneering figure in English football, best known as the first black referee to officiate in the Premier League. Born on October 23, 1959, in Sheffield, South Yorkshire, England, Rennie broke racial barriers in one of the sport's most high-profile and scrutinized roles, earning wide respect for his integrity, discipline, and athleticism. Rennie began refereeing in local leagues in the 1980s while working in various civil service roles. He gradually rose through the ranks due to his consistent professionalism and commanding presence on the pitch. In 1994, he joined the Football League list of referees, and by 1997, he was promoted to the Premier League, the top tier of English football. Known for his authoritative demeanor, Rennie was both physically fit and mentally sharp. His background in martial arts contributed to his fitness and poise under pressure. Over the years, he officiated some of the most heated and high-stakes matches in English football. His handling of high-temper matches and fairness in decision-making made him a respected figure among players and managers alike. Beyond the field, Rennie worked as a magistrate and held a master's degree in business administration. His commitment to fairness and public service extended well beyond sports. He often spoke about the need for representation, diversity, and equality in football, and became a role model for aspiring referees from minority backgrounds. Rennie officially retired from top-level officiating in 2008, but remained active in football through mentorship and community engagement. He contributed to campaigns promoting inclusivity and was involved with the Professional Game Match Officials Board to improve standards and diversity in officiating. Uriah Rennie passed away in 2024. His career left an indelible mark on the game of football, not just for his trailblazing status, but for the fairness, strength, and dignity with which he conducted himself. He is remembered as a true gentleman of the game and a symbol of progress in sport. Arthur Hamilton. Arthur Hamilton was an American songwriter whose contributions to music have echoed across generations, primarily through his most enduring and heartfelt composition, Cry Me a River. Born on October 22, 1926 in Seattle, Washington, Hamilton was raised in a musically inclined family and later moved to Los Angeles, where he immersed himself in the vibrant post-war music and entertainment scene. A master of torch songs and ballads, Hamilton's work stood out for its emotional clarity, lyrical sophistication, and melodic grace. Cry Me a River, written in 1953 and first made famous by Julie London in 1955, became a global standard. The song's haunting line, "Told me love was too plebeian, told me you were through with me," and captured a timeless sense of heartbreak and longing. It has since been recorded by over 500 artists, including Ella Fitzgerald, Joe Cocker, Diana Krall, and Michael Bublé, affirming its place in the canon of American music. Hamilton's songwriting career blossomed during a period when the Great American Songbook was evolving, and he carved a niche with songs that favored intimacy and narrative. Though none reached the iconic heights of Cry Me a River, many of his compositions were recorded by celebrated vocalists and featured in films and television. He also collaborated with renowned arrangers and producers throughout the 1950s and 1960s. Aside from writing music, Hamilton worked as a music executive and was deeply involved in the Hollywood songwriting community. He served on the Board of Governors for the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and remained an advocate for composers' rights. His lyrical approach, often focused on storytelling and raw emotion, influenced generations of songwriters. His ability to express heartbreak with eloquence and simplicity made his songs universally relatable. Arthur Hamilton passed away in 2024 at the age of 97. He is remembered not only for one of the most iconic torch songs in history, but also for a legacy of elegant songwriting that prioritized feeling over flash. His music continues to touch the hearts of listeners and performers alike, affirming the power of a single, perfectly penned song to endure forever. Norman Hutchins. Norman Hutchins was an influential American gospel musician, pastor, and songwriter whose uplifting and soulful voice resonated with congregations and listeners across the globe. Born on November 26, 1962 in Delaware, USA, Hutchins rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most recognizable voices in contemporary gospel music. Raised in the church, Hutchins's early exposure to spiritual music laid the foundation for his life's work. By the time he was a teenager, he was already active in ministry and music, combining the two as tools for healing, encouragement, and worship. His musical journey gained national momentum in the 1990s when he began releasing albums that reflected a deep faith and a talent for crafting melodies that moved the heart. His breakthrough album, Battlefield, released in 1999, featured the hit single, "God's Got a Blessing," with my name on it, a track that became a church anthem and continues to inspire to this day. With a unique blend of traditional gospel, R&B, and contemporary Christian music, Hutchins became known for messages of hope, perseverance, and praise in the midst of struggle. Throughout his career, Hutchins released numerous albums under major gospel labels, including JDI Records, and collaborated with artists such as Shirley Caesar and John P. Key. His music often reflected personal challenges, including health battles and life's trials, which only deepened the emotional impact of his songs. In addition to his musical career, Hutchins was a devoted pastor and spiritual leader. He founded and led Frontline Ministries in Dover, Delaware, providing both spiritual guidance and community support. His sermons and leadership were noted for their compassion, wisdom, and unshakable faith. Norman Hutchins was nominated for multiple Stellar and Dove Awards, affirming his influence in the gospel music industry. His contributions went beyond accolades. They were felt in every church choir, gospel concert, and worship service that echoed with his music. He passed away in 2024, leaving behind a legacy of praise and purpose. Norman Hutchins is remembered not only for his vocal gift and songwriting prowess, but also for his unwavering devotion to ministry and his mission to bring people closer to God through music. Peter Easterby. Peter Easterby is a legendary figure in British horse racing, renowned for his unmatched versatility and long-standing success across both flat racing and national hunt jumps events. Born on August 5, 1929, in Great Habton, North Yorkshire, England, Easterby became one of the most respected trainers in the history of British racing. His career as a racehorse trainer officially began in the early 1950s, and by the 1960s, he had established himself as a formidable name. What set Peter Easterby apart from his contemporaries was his exceptional ability to train both flat and jump horses, a rare dual success in the competitive world of British racing. Over his career, he trained more than 1,000 winners in both codes, a feat few have achieved. Among his most celebrated horses were Saucy Kit, winner of the 1967 champion hurdle, Alverton, who tragically died while leading the 1979 Grand National after winning the Cheltenham Gold Cup that same year, and Night Nurse, widely regarded as one of the greatest hurdlers in history. Night Nurse's unbeaten 1975-76 season and thrilling rivalry with Monksfield are etched into racing folklore. Easterby's contribution to flat racing was also notable, with multiple winners at prestigious meetings such as Royal Ascot and York. His stable, Habton Grange, became synonymous with professionalism, care, and integrity. Beyond the winner's circle, Peter Easterby was admired for his deep knowledge of equine care, a keen eye for talent, and a steady hand that guided both horses and young jockeys to greatness. His legacy also includes mentoring future generations. His sons, including Tim Easterby, followed in his footsteps, continuing the family tradition of excellence in training. In recognition of his outstanding contributions to the sport, Easterby was inducted into the British Champion Series Hall of Fame and received numerous lifetime achievement honors. He retired from training in 1996, but remained a revered figure and a living encyclopedia of racing history. Peter Easterby passed away in 2024 at the age of 94. His name remains indelibly associated with greatness in British horse racing, not just for the trophies and titles, but for the wisdom, dignity, and excellence he brought to every aspect of his craft. Rick Derringer. Rick Derringer is an American rock guitarist, singer, producer, and songwriter who made a lasting impact on the music industry with his virtuosic playing and energetic performances. Born Rick Derringer on August 5, 1947 in Fort Recovery, Ohio, he adopted the stage name Derringer and began his musical journey at an early age. Derringer first gained national attention in the 1960s as a member of the McCoys, a band best known for their chart-topping hit Hang On Sloopy, released in 1965. The song became an enduring anthem and marked the beginning of Derringer's career as a teenage rock sensation. He was just 17 years old at the time of the song's success. In the 1970s, Derringer embarked on a successful solo career and also collaborated with prominent artists, including Johnny Winter, Edgar Winter, and Steely Dan. His solo hit Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo became a staple of classic rock radio and solidified his reputation as a guitar powerhouse. As a producer and session musician, Derringer played a key role in the development of several albums for artists across rock and blues genres. His versatility allowed him to navigate between hard rock, blues, and pop, earning him respect from musicians and critics alike. Derringer also made notable contributions to the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, in the 1980s, writing and performing entrance themes like Real American, famously used by Hulk Hogan. These anthems further cemented his influence in American pop culture. Throughout his decades-long career, Derringer released numerous albums and toured extensively. He faced personal and financial challenges, but remained active in music, later exploring Christian themes in his work after a spiritual conversion. Rick Derringer's legacy is marked by musical adaptability, high-energy performances, and contributions that span several musical eras. His guitar work and songwriting have influenced generations of musicians, and his work continues to be celebrated in both rock history and pop culture. Jason Constantine. Jason Constantine is a notable figure in the entertainment industry, recognized for his executive leadership in film distribution and franchise development at Lionsgate. As one of the guiding forces behind some of the studio's most profitable and culturally impactful projects, Constantine played a crucial role in shaping the modern cinematic landscape. Born in the late 1960s, Constantine began his career in the entertainment business in the 1990s, steadily rising through the ranks due to his keen instincts for audience appeal and narrative potential. He joined Lionsgate in the early 2000s, during a period when the studio was rapidly growing into a powerhouse in independent and genre filmmaking. As president of acquisitions and co-productions, Constantine was instrumental in bringing in and nurturing several major franchises. Among his most notable achievements was securing the rights to the Saw series, which became one of the most successful horror franchises of all time. He also played a vital role in launching the John Wick films, starring Keanu Reeves, helping transform them from a modest action film into a globally celebrated brand. Constantine had a particular talent for identifying sleeper hits, films with unexpected commercial and critical success, and helping them flourish through strategic release planning, strong marketing, and global distribution. His efforts helped Lionsgate stand out in an industry dominated by major studios. Beyond his work on horror and action, Constantine also supported diverse storytelling, helping distribute independent films and projects with unique voices. He built strong relationships with filmmakers and producers, known for his collaborative spirit and genuine enthusiasm for the craft of cinema. Tragically, Jason Constantine passed away in 2024. His death marked a significant loss for the film industry, where his legacy is preserved in the franchises he helped build and the careers he helped launch. Friends and colleagues remember him as a visionary with a deep love of storytelling and an unshakable belief in the power of film to connect people across the globe. His career is a testament to how behind-the-scenes leadership can shape the stories that define generations of moviegoers. Wayne Lewis. Wayne Lewis was a founding member of the R&B group Atlantic Starr and a driving creative force behind the band's smooth, romantic sound that dominated the airwaves throughout the 1980s. Born in White Plains, New York, Lewis grew up surrounded by music and co-founded Atlantic Starr in the late 1970s with his brother David Lewis and other talented musicians. As a lead vocalist, keyboardist, and songwriter, Wayne Lewis helped craft the soulful melodies and heartfelt lyrics that became the band's signature. He co-wrote and performed on many of their greatest hits, including Secret Lovers, Always, and Touch of Four-Leaf Clover. These songs not only achieved chart success, but also became anthems of love and emotional connection for millions of fans. Atlantic Starr's blend of smooth jazz, pop, and soul distinguished them from other R&B acts of the era. Wayne's velvety vocals and expressive keyboard work played a central role in defining that sound. His contributions helped the group transition from a funk-based ensemble in their early years to a chart-topping powerhouse of romantic ballads in the mid-1880s. Wayne Lewis and the band received widespread acclaim, earning spots on the Billboard charts and appearances on major music television programs. Their crossover appeal brought R&B into mainstream pop without sacrificing emotional depth or musical sophistication. In addition to his musical talents, Lewis was known for his professionalism and spiritual devotion. Later in his career, he and other members of Atlantic Starr shifted their focus to gospel music, performing in church settings and producing faith-based works that reflected their personal growth and transformation. Wayne Lewis passed away in 2024, marking the end of an era for fans of classic R&B. His voice, both as a singer and songwriter, left a permanent mark on the genre and continues to be celebrated in playlists, love stories, and music history retrospectives. Lewis's life was a testament to musical excellence, emotional authenticity, and creative evolution. His work remains an enduring soundtrack to love and memory for generations. Mike Campbell. Mike Campbell was a respected and beloved news anchor based in Metro Detroit, whose steady voice and trustworthy presence made him a fixture in local journalism for over 30 years. Born in the late 1950s, Campbell dedicated most of his professional life to keeping his community informed, uplifted, and connected. He began his broadcasting career in the 1980s, working his way up from radio reporting to becoming one of the most recognizable faces in local television news. Known for his calm demeanor and clear, confident delivery, Campbell became a household name as a longtime anchor at WWWJ News Radio and later at WXYZ-TV. Campbell covered a wide array of important stories throughout his career, from the impact of the automotive industry on Detroit's economy to local elections, weather emergencies, and community spotlights. He was particularly respected for his human interest reporting, often highlighting stories of resilience, charity, and local heroes that brought hope and inspiration to viewers. A firm believer in the power of journalism to build community, Campbell mentored young reporters and participated in numerous educational outreach efforts. He frequently visited schools and civic organizations to speak about media literacy, ethics, and the importance of local news in a changing media landscape. Off-camera, Campbell was deeply involved in charity work, supporting food banks, homeless shelters, and veterans organizations. His quiet generosity and humility won him the affection of colleagues and viewers alike. Though he never sought national fame, Campbell's work earned him multiple regional journalism awards and the admiration of his peers. His integrity and unwavering commitment to fair, compassionate reporting left a lasting impression on the Detroit area and beyond. Mike Campbell passed away in 2024, leaving behind a legacy of journalistic excellence and civic dedication. In an era of media skepticism, he remained a symbol of trust and community-centered journalism, a broadcaster who truly served the public good. Patricia Fuenmayor. Patricia Fuenmayor was a Venezuelan beauty queen, television presenter, and philanthropist whose elegance and resilience made her a beloved public figure. Born in the late 1960s in Maracaibo, Venezuela, she first gained national recognition after winning a prestigious regional title in the Miss Venezuela pageant circuit during the 1980s, where she stood out for her intelligence, poise, and charismatic public presence. After her pageant success, Patricia transitioned into television, becoming a popular host on Venezuelan morning and variety shows. Her work in broadcast journalism was characterized by warmth, professionalism, and a strong connection with viewers. As one of the few former beauty queens to successfully build a long-term media career, she redefined public expectations and championed the intelligence and capability of women in entertainment. Fuenmayor also used her platform for advocacy and humanitarian work. She was a visible supporter of children's health initiatives and women's empowerment programs, often speaking publicly about the importance of education and equal opportunity in Latin America. Her calm demeanor and commanding presence on screen reflected the grace with which she lived off-screen. In later years, Patricia became a voice for resilience in the face of personal health challenges. Diagnosed with a chronic illness, she continued to appear on television and engage in charitable activities, inspiring many with her courage and openness about her condition. Her advocacy included fundraising efforts for hospitals and awareness campaigns for early diagnosis and treatment. Patricia Fuenmayer passed away in 2024, leaving behind a legacy of beauty, intellect, and generosity. She is remembered not only as a television personality, but as a symbol of determination and class in Venezuela and beyond. Her life and career stand as a testament to how public influence can be used to uplift others and foster positive social change. Patricia's legacy lives on in the lives she touched and the causes she championed. Sly Stone. Sly Stone, born Sylvester Stewart on March 15, 1943, in Denton, Texas, was a trailblazing musician and cultural icon whose innovative sound fused soul, rock, funk, and psychedelia. As the frontman and creative force behind Sly and the Family Stone, he not only revolutionized popular music in the late 1960s and early 1970s, but also broke new ground in racial and gender integration within music groups. Stone's musical journey began early. He was a prodigious multi-instrumentalist and producer who worked as a disc jockey and session musician in San Francisco. In 1967, he formed Sly and the Family Stone, a band composed of both black and white musicians, and both men and women, a radical configuration at the time. The band's message of unity, social justice, and positivity was paired with infectious grooves and anthemic songwriting. Songs like Dance to the Music, Everyday People, Thank You, Fallatin Me, Be Mice Elf Agin, and Family Affair became instant hits and enduring classics. Their performance at Woodstock in 1969 remains one of the festival's most celebrated moments. Musically, Stone pioneered the use of slap bass, layered rhythms, and synthesizers, creating a template that would influence generations of funk, R&B, and hip-hop artists. He was known for his magnetic stage presence, flamboyant fashion, and a fearless approach to genre-bending creativity. However, Stone's later years were marred by personal and professional struggles. As the pressures of fame mounted, he withdrew from public life amid reports of drug use and financial difficulties. Despite these challenges, his influence never waned. Artists from Prince to Public Enemy have cited him as a key inspiration. In 1993, Sly and the Family Stone were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Though his public appearances remained rare, his music continued to inspire, and he gradually received recognition for his foundational role in shaping modern popular music. Sly Stone's legacy is one of audacity, innovation, and vision. He used his platform to push for social change and cultural unity, while crafting a sound that continues to move bodies and minds across generations. Twin passions, music and flight, came together in tragic irony. Dave Shapiro's life reads like a dual biography of rock and roll hustle and pilot-in-command precision. Born and raised in Rochester, New York, Dave cut his teeth in the city's vibrant straight-edge hardcore scene. By his late teens, he was touring regionally as a guitarist. DIY basement shows, hand-painted flyers, and an ethos of community over commerce. Yet behind that stage persona, Dave harbored a second calling, the sky. At 22, he earned his private pilot's license. Flying, he often said, was meditation for the soul, a chance to clear his mind, to dream unbound. Even as a kid fixing string breaks on his guitar, he'd map out airports in his notebooks alongside chord charts. In 2014, he swapped the stage for The Office, joining a boutique talent agency in San Diego. His uncanny ear, spotting raw potential in a demo or an open mic night, propelled him rapidly upward. 4 years later, together with childhood friend Lila Chen, he founded Sound Talent Group in a cramped loft above a taco shop. Their mission was radical: artists first, deals second. They forged ethical touring contracts, reinvested portions of their fees into music education scholarships, and became known as the agency that always put the band's well-being ahead of profit. But Dave didn't abandon flight. In 2021, he launched Velocity Aviation, offering charter flights tailored for touring artists, complete with onboard recording booths so musicians could capture inspiration at 10,000 feet. That same year, he founded Velocity Records, an indie label championing LGBTQ+ and POC talents. On May 22, 2025, while piloting a Beechcraft King Air out of Montgomery Field, tragedy struck. Accompanying him were metalcore drummer Daniel Williams and two colleagues. Moments after takeoff, the small jet went down in an otherwise quiet San Diego neighborhood. All aboard were lost. The shock rippled through both music and aviation circles. Tributes poured in. Bands he'd signed pledged scholarship funds under the Shapiro Fellowship, and the Music Center in LA announced a summer residency in his honor, inviting underserved youth to record in a studio named after him. In remembering Dave, colleagues Meow Cribe, a visionary who lifted others, both on the ground and in the sky. He embodied the belief that art and ambition, when guided by integrity, can truly take flight. Damien Thomas's name evokes classic horror and dramatic cinema of the 1970s and 80s, but his true range extended into stage and television drama as well. Born in 1935 in London, Thomas studied at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, RADA, then gained early acclaim with the Royal Shakespeare Company in the late 1950s. His tall, chiseled features and commanding presence made him a natural choice for period pieces. He portrayed King Henry VII in the BBC's The Shadow of the Tower, 1972, and received critical praise for his performance as the tormented Prince Hal in a 1971 production of Henry IV, Part of the First at Stratford-upon-Avon. In 1976, Thomas made his film debut as Baron Karl von Papen in The Beast Must Die, a cult British horror film that showcased his talent for playing morally ambiguous characters. He followed this with a chilling turn as the vengeful spirit in Hammer Films' Night of the Demon 2, 1978, and a chilling role in Blood-Spattered Bride, 1973, where his slow-building menace earned him horror fan adulation. Yet Thomas never limited himself to horror. He portrayed Colonel Surrey in the crime drama The Long Good Friday, 1980, and played Captain Caraway in A Passage to India, 1984, displaying his knack for conveying rigid aristocracy cracking under societal pressure. On television, Thomas delivered memorable performances in series such as Upstairs, Downstairs, 1975, and Inspector Morse, 1988, often cast as suave, cerebral figures harboring hidden darkness. Colleagues remember his meticulous approach. Damien made every word count, recalled a Marple co-star. Off-screen, he taught at RADA from 1992 to 2002, shaping a generation of British actors in classical training and modern screen techniques. His students included future stars like Helen McCrory and Benedict Cumberbatch, who credited Thomas's discipline and humanity for their own success. Damien Thomas's impact on genre cinema and on classical acting remains evident. He showed that horror could be layered with psychological nuance, and that Shakespearean precision could translate powerfully to camera. Survived by 2 children and a legion of fans, he leaves behind a body of work that continues to be rediscovered by cinephiles and theatergoers alike. His legacy is one of artistic versatility, proof that even in the darkest roles, a seasoned actor can illuminate universal truths about fear, ambition, and redemption. Frederick Forsyth. Frederick Forsyth was a British author and former journalist whose meticulous research and high-octane storytelling helped redefine the political thriller genre. Born on August 25, 1938, in Ashford, Kent, England, Forsyth was raised with a strong sense of curiosity and a global perspective. He attended Tonbridge School and later the University of Granada in Spain before beginning his professional journey in journalism. Forsyth joined Reuters at the age of 19, working as a foreign correspondent. He soon found himself reporting from volatile regions, including Paris and East Berlin, during the height of Cold War tensions. His first-hand exposure to international politics and conflict sharpened both his worldview and his ability to dissect complex geopolitical narratives. Later, while covering the Nigerian Civil War for the BBC, he famously defied corporate orders and stayed behind enemy lines to report from Biafra, an experience that would fuel his later fiction. In 1971, Forsyth channeled his journalistic discipline into fiction, publishing The Day of the Jackal, a novel that would revolutionize the thriller genre. His signature style, rigorous research, plausibility, and tight pacing made the book a global bestseller and set the tone for future political fiction. The book's film adaptation only heightened his status. Following that triumph, Forsyth produced a string of bestsellers that included The Odessa File, exploring Nazi war criminals in hiding, The Dogs of War, about mercenaries in Africa, and The Fourth Protocol, delving into nuclear espionage. His works didn't just entertain, they reflected the anxieties and secret machinations of the modern political landscape. Forsyth's novels were often underpinned by a moral core, wrestling with questions of power, justice, and human resilience. While his plots featured assassins, spies, and shadow governments, his characters often grappled with ethical choices that made them relatable to readers across the globe. In addition to fiction, Forsyth was a political commentator and occasional screenwriter. His 2015 memoir, The Outsider: My Life in Intrigue, revealed the calculated risks he took both in reporting and in life. It confirmed that much of his fiction had roots in real-world experiences, making his storytelling all the more impactful. Throughout his career, Forsyth received numerous accolades, including the CBE, Commander of the Order of the British Empire, for services to literature. He inspired a generation of thriller writers like Tom Clancy and Daniel Silva, and his influence is still felt in both popular fiction and political discourse. Frederick Forsyth passed away in 2024. His legacy endures not only in his best-selling books and their film adaptations, but also in the way he elevated the spy thriller into a vehicle for intellectual and ethical exploration. He remains a giant in the literary world, a writer who made suspense smart and who brought the secrets of the world out of the shadows and into our living rooms.